Hola, YouTube.
Hello YouTube, welcome Dustin. This video is going to be about LingQ, because me and Dustin, we are both great fans of LingQ. We will introduce each other and then talk about everything you need to know so you can use it to learn your language on this wonderful platform. That's the idea. I'm very happy to present to you Mr. Dustin Schermaul. He's from Germany. He's an IT project manager, and he also spends lots and lots of time, an impressive amount of time, learning languages. So me as a Dutch teacher, I can say that his Dutch is already getting very good. He speaks amazing French, and he also speaks and reads books in Italian. He's currently learning Spanish, and also he lives with his girlfriend, and when she's not there, he tries to do as much time as in language learning as he can without upsetting her. And when she's gone, he spends all his free time learning foreign languages. You are the man of the IT project management, of course, so you know more than me about all these features of LingQ, and you wanted to mention a few benefits, right? A few things that LingQ has that are amazing.
Yeah, sure. So one thing is that, of course, you can consume content from all different kind of sources, like ebooks you can import. If it works with the copyrights, you can import podcast episodes. You can import YouTube videos or even Netflix series. And if you import a YouTube video, for example, you'll also get the audio of the YouTube video. So that means that after having imported it, you have all the subtitles. Make sure that you have not only auto-generated subtitles, but ideally handwritten subtitles, and it's also okay to read it. Otherwise, it can be a bit off. And the nice thing is, in LingQ, they are also stored the audio of the YouTube video, and you can listen it while you're doing other stuff. Often YouTube videos don't require to actually watch it because it's more like of an audio thing. And that's what I really like to do. If you only have text, you can also get auto-generated audio files from LingQ. Or even if you only have the audio files, so the other way around, if you have, for example, a podcast, but you don't have the transcript to read through, you can now also import that into LingQ and then get an auto-generated transcript, which is really high quality
Amazing.
by now.
Really, really amazing.
Yeah.
What a time to be alive, people. So let me show you how to import things on LingQ. We go to the complete guide to importing things on LingQ. Scroll down and it says you'll need the LingQ extension first. So before scrolling down further, make sure you've downloaded the LingQ extension, and we'll be using the one from Google Chrome. Then you see here a little button, add to Chrome, so we'll do that. And now it will ask you, do you want to add the extension? Well, I say yes. And then here on the top right corner of your screen, you'll see that the LingQ importer tool is actually added to the toolbar. Now we have this little icon over here called LingQ importer. And all you need to do is go to a certain website.
Hello guys, welcome to my
this video, LingQ importer, download into English. And now you can go to open lesson, and it will automatically open the whole text, including the audio.
Hello guys, welcome to my channel.
Amazing, or not?
Yeah.
What a time to be alive, people.
Yeah, also lots of content already available within LingQ, depending, of course, on the language, right? So the bigger languages, the languages that have more learners, they don't have to be necessarily bigger in terms of the number of speakers, have more content available. It's also suited for all levels of language learning. You can start using it at an A1 level. You can also use it at a C1 level or so if you are really reading very complex stuff with very specific vocab, for example, or the main classics or so. They can still be used. And the other nice thing is that you have mini stories, the praised LingQ mini stories, 60 different mini stories. Those are pretty good to get going because you have lots of repetition within them. You can listen to them multiple times in order to enforce the learning. And the nice thing is those are the same in each and every language. So if you are learning multiple languages, it really ease your learning.
All of this stuff is pretty unique to LingQ, pretty much all of it. So
yeah, but there are also some downsides, right?
There are some downsides. So one downside that is very important for the people from my channel is, of course, with Persian, it's hard to start with LingQ. So you can do the alphabet and things like that with LingQ, but then moving on to reading stories, I found was just very, very hard. For Persian was the first language where I really needed grammar in the beginning to be able to identify a verb, for example, because I had just no idea what the verb was. Like in French, Spanish, English, you can kind of feel what the verb is. You just know. That's not the case for Persian. So I actually first did things with another book, then came back to LingQ, and then start with the mini stories.
Yeah, that's true. I've never learned a certain language in different script before, but I've also, if you don't know the script yet, and then you're going to LingQ, then you will have a hard time. So probably makes sense to learn that before, even though nowadays you have also transliteration, which is also a new feature, which allows you to see it in your native or in your native script, if you will. But then on the other hand, that might be also not that good because it could really mess up your pronunciation because it's still not the same.
And another downside that you have in mind, maybe, Mr. Schermaul.
Yeah, I got another one. So, for example, you can import Netflix series or Netflix movies, but then you won't have the audio. You have all the subtitles, you can read them, but you don't have the audio, and that's because of the copyrights. So it's
Right.
protected, and you need to pay for Netflix, right? So you can't just import it into LingQ, the content. Definitely downside, I would say. Of course, the LingQ isn't for free, but then on the other hand, there's lots of development effort and hosting costs and so on. So it has to cost money, unfortunately.
Right. I think so too. Also, my personal opinion is that the LingQ display is quite ugly, I think. Even the new version, it doesn't please the eye very much. And that's why sometimes I don't enjoy going on to LingQ. I enjoy reading and listening, but going on to LingQ is not a beautiful experience.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I think it has improved quite a lot since the last version, but I know what you mean. And LingQ is supposed to be the Netflix of language learning, right? Where you pick content and consume it. And I think it can still do stuff to get better doing that, right? To make it nicer and also to give you the right content that you are interested in. So, for example, with some algorithms or stuff, right? That's knowing you and that's making it even easier to learn. But I agree, it could definitely be even nicer. It's true. And then there's one more point. So for smaller languages, or as I mentioned, or languages where there aren't too many learners, that maybe that there's not much content pre-existing. There's always, or there should be always, the mini stories available. So that's one pre-requirement for LingQ in order to go live with the language. The mini stories, especially for a language like Parsi, if you haven't learned a language of that kind before, they will be way too high to start with, right?
Yeah. They are beginner 2, right? So in LingQ, there's these different levels. You have beginner 1, beginner 2, elementary, I think it's called, or in Dutch it's called semi-gevorderd, so like intermediate basically, which is 1 and 2, and then you have advanced 1 and 2, which should more or less correlate with CEFR language levels. So A1, A2 would be the beginner 2, etc., right? But the mini stories are actually beginner 2. So you start directly with A2. Also, for example, for Dutch, I've looked at them, is that different categories of verbs are actually put already into the first story. So, for example, separable verbs and reflexive verbs are already in the first story. So that can be daunting, right? Very disencouraging.
Oh, yeah.
Another small downside, I think, is that the words, the amount of words you need to go to each level seem to be a bit random. It more or less correlates with the language levels of the CEFR, but not completely. So
yeah, I know what you mean, but I think they also worked on that in the last update to make it more balanced and to see that it's more individual based on the language. But I don't know how they're actually doing that. So that's true.
right.
I don't know where they get that from. But
I also don't know. No, I googled it, and actually, nobody seems to know.
yeah. So I don't care too much about it, but you're right. It would be interesting to know.
Right. I mean, these are small downsides. I'm a very, very big fan of LingQ. I recommend it to everyone. Another small downside, I think, is the computery voice. So when you have the text, you can select words and then translate it.
Oh, yeah.
Using different translators on the internet. That works greatly, but you automatically hear, you can actually change that. But if you don't, you automatically hear the computery technical voice. That voice is very unpleasant for me.
Yeah, that's true. Especially when I'm in the evening in the bed and I'm reading at LingQ, my girlfriend gets always annoyed.
Yeah, that's not very nice because the audio in LingQ is usually of very high quality. So that voice actually is a bit out of balance, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
So about most features, as for example the word count and the statistics that you can see, me and Dustin, we both agree that they are absolutely amazing. So we really recommend you check out LingQ, and you can go over to his channel and make sure that you get a discount code if you want to get a subscription on LingQ. And also be sure to subscribe to my channel and his, because we keep following LingQ and all its updates, and we also show you how our own progress actually is going using this wonderful app. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you on the next one.